Today's episode is brought to you by PTZ Optics. Visibility upgrade. New Wave Toys and their Replicate Amusements products. And
Boom shakalaka! Hey everybody, it's Tim Kitzer here, the voice of some of your favorite video games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I'm here to talk to you about Old School Gamer Magazine. It's the magazine for retro gaming, and it's exploding. Kaboom! Print issues come out every other month, and if you want to go green, digital options are available. Visit oldschoolgamer.com and subscribe now. That's oldschoolgamer.com. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
Kaboom.
Kaboom! There we go. Got to turn the mic on.
So they just saw your lips move and that's
They
it.
did.
The
Back to my
annoying
old
noise you
ways.
heard in the
Back to my
beginning.
old
of
ways.
this video.
You know, I can't do it every week. You know, I just
Hopefully
can't
they
do
can
it.
hear
This
us.
game
We
is
got to
a
do a mic
time
check again.
Control game.
I think so.
Every
There's an
time.
option
I
for a
think so.
long or short.
We got,
play.
You guys hear us.
Let's go to the chili.
The sound
chat
is
chat.
good. All right.
Oh, I forgot
Perfect.
to- Damn, I forgot to do this too. I'm
Here,
forgetting
the
everything today.
sound's
Hold on, I
pretty
gotta
cool.
fix this.
And you know what? There's less of a
And
delay.
the
in the
display is
stream,
very
looks like.
bright. Let's try looking
Like
at the
when I
other
asked
game
them
you
to
had
do
had.
a check, it was
Yeah.
literally
Do that.
like within seconds. So that's good. Most nights it's a 2-minute
And
delay,
you
and
can see
by the
player
time
2 is on top,
There's so many things going on
and
this
the
week,
player 1's
everyone.
on
I
the
forgot to
bottom.
do something.
I'm
I
going
wanna
to try to
do
move them
real quick.
both, and you get the fire.
Hope
And those
everyone had a
things
good
right in
week. My
front
week's
of
been
player 1 there, those are my fighters.
basically
They're actually
flush
the-
down the mouth, but you know,
the
hey,
launch
you
pods,
never
I
get
guess.
every
to the
week, right?
yeah, they're
Yeah,
there.
whether
And
it's
they
flush
can
down the
hit
mouth. I
player
down
haven't
the
heard that
mouth.
one
Here we
before.
go. Here we go. See this.
You hear the
Dance.
clicking
Use it a
to
whole
time.
meeting.
It's a timed game, so you hear the click throughout.
Boom.
It's pretty.
Fix this here. Where is
I wouldn't say it's
So we
crowded,
got a whole bunch
but
of people
it's got a
here
lot of stuff.
tonight.
Goes Frogger, as you can tell.
you want me to go
goes
down the
from
list?
Yeah,
This
I'm
also
trying to
takes
fix a couple
4C
things here. Here we go.
batteries,
Boom. Okay, so we're good. Yeah,
well,
go on the
there
list.
you go.
Well,
Hit 'em up. Hit 'em up.
well, Glenn
Okay,
gets
so
his
there I am on the
usual
bottom.
technical
Trying to avoid
whatever.
those cars.
All right, we got Jason, the
Now I'm
AI
on the sidewalk, and
encyclopedia
you see the snakes going
extraordinaire.
across.
We got
Usually in
Goofy
Frogger, it
Foot,
takes a while for the
and
snakes
he's
to get
asking
there,
about the
but
Coleco quarterback thing.
it's
We'll get
already
to that
there.
later.
in the first level.
This guy named
16
Glenn
points.
Retroshow. I have no idea who that is.
So that's
So
pretty much
Pliskin's
the Friday. I
run.
won't take too much time on it, but it's got a great display as well.
Mr.
I mean, I've
McRae,
got a light,
welcome
pretty
again.
bright light above,
Who else we
shining
got
down
here?
while you go through
Michael
challenging obstacles and you race
Felser.
against the time.
Welcome.
There's really not much
Easy
to that
to watch.
game, and there's no other
Epkus,
games to play other
Jeff
than the
D. Who else we got here? Iceman, JLS Gaming. Hello in Florida. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Who else we got here? I had to scroll here. Sean, my cousin Sean, down in Southern Ontario. Welcome. Puglia? I don't know. I don't want to mess up your name. And then we got Goofy Foot. He's like Norm at Cheers. So hello, welcome. Stephen M. Paul. No, I should say Paul is more of our Norm. Take his chair and you'll die kind of thing, right? So who else we got? JJ, sure. And then Fret Burner 89, and that's it. So what kind of show do we got tonight?
Well, I went back to my old ways with a lot of audio issues. Thank you for letting me know that the video in the lower right-hand corner was playing the audio. I turned it off before we went live. For some reason, it turned itself
So
back
did I
on.
have to scream through that?
No. I got halfway through. Halfway through, we were good. See, we're good to go now. We're good to go. It's been a hell of a week. Someone I know is going through. One of them is going through a birthday. One's going through a hard time. So it's just, and someone else I know is going through a hard time. It's just been a week.
And I started a new job the last 2 weeks, so I come home and I'm tired as all hell. Especially when you haven't worked full time for a better part of a year because of stuff that I will reveal to everybody later on. So
dun.
nothing crazy. It's not even that exciting. So we got a cool show tonight. So I was talking to Glenn earlier in the day, and I said, "Hey, what do we got tonight? What are we going to talk about?" And Glenn came up with.
I thought we talked about like these bad boys.
That's like the little plastic crack for men.
It is. Let me go over here. Can I go to this? So,
and yes,
this is
TGIF, by the way.
Oh, thank God! Thank God, it's Friday big time. So this is
TGIF.
This
is that your collection, or
not
is
even,
that?
It's like maybe 15%.
Well, the ones that you showed before in the previous shot in the shelf, that's a whole bunch of other ones. But these are the classic ones.
These are the classic. These are mostly VFD. There's a couple in here that are not.
So what we're going to talk about tonight is probably, correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn, the stuff that doesn't have an LCD in it, and it's the old-fashioned light bulbs, vacuum tubes, old LEDs, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it because of, let me pull this up over here. I know these are not great. Just give me a second to find it over here.
No, I didn't get robot legs Pliskin's run.
So, the Coleco Revival series. Now, I did not go on the Kickstarter because I knew they weren't going to be. I knew they weren't going to be very good, and I've seen they would have been kind of okay, but there were issues with
I know the guy.
Right, I know you do. There's a whole
I know the guy.
So just because of them, someone had posted that on eBay, you can get both of them, which is the Frenzy and the Berserk, plus the new board you got to put in yourself though, but it comes with it. They wanted $69 plus $12 shipping. But I noticed they took give an offer. So I threw a decent.
But these have LCDs or
right. They're not
modern displays in them.
Yeah, so I threw $55 and they took it. So okay, so for two of these $55, I said that's not a bad deal. So I know they're not good.
You mentioned real quick. You said there's new boards or something.
Yeah, because if we follow this, they're running NES basically emulation on them.
On a chip. NES on a chip, probably.
And if you look at the screen, in Berserk and Frenzy, you have to have all four sides. You got to see the exits and the walls.
Yeah.
On this side,
you can't
see it's off the screen. So it's like this.
Well, that's NFG, man. No freaking good.
So they had to make
Who the hell quality controlled that?
Well, that's the whole big thing. So someone had to make a brand new board, and you put it in yourself. So you know what? For $50, I get both of them just to add to my, the collection of what I already have here. I already have a bunch of the older ones, so I wanted to kind of keep it going. But I started thinking about, what makes these, what makes these the shell? There's something just
desirable about
the shell that just brings up so much nostalgia that I had to still buy. I knew they were garbage. I know they're junk. But I got them.
Things.
I got
the damn things.
Right.
You know what? You could put a Pi with the display that's in there, or a new one.
And I have.
And it looks better than
if I
the
can
thing
zoom
in there.
here. If I could zoom in, I got to find the right camera here. So if I zoom in, let's see, over here a little bit. So you can see in the back, I have the Zaxxon, which is a beast. We have the Galaxian, Pac-Man. But if I keep going over a little bit over here, I miss Pac-Man. But you notice there's a Crazy Climber, which is from Old Made New. So that actually has a Raspberry Pi in it, and that has a Raspberry Pi. And also, you see there's Asteroids. The Crazy Climber and the Asteroids are original, I think, Pac-Man cases.
I sent you one way back. It was
Yep.
Super Cobra, I think it was.
Yep, and that's here too. It's right here. It's right.
Yeah,
right,
I thought I saw
right
it.
there.
It's
It is
behind,
right there.
isn't it?
Yep. And I got the Robotech. But where I was trying to do that.
So I think people like the story.
Here it is. Here it is. Zelda. You want if you can see that right there? The Zelda is a Pi. Not the Pi Storm, but it was like the Pi Score, the Pi Score case. So you were able to go online to Thingiverse and print it until Coleco, your buddy at Coleco, went after them and had them
take it down.
Take it down.
But I have the original files still, so
there was just something about the case that has got. There's my Megatron I built over here. There's just something about that design, and more so, the screen. Now we have in the lower right-hand corner of the screen right now Donkey Kong Jr., and that is actually an LCD, so it's not the same thing. But here's Zaxxon, and that is a VFD. We'll see that in a second. So VFD, if you don't know what that means, it stands for Vacuum Fluorescent Display. Growing up in the 80s, we had a VCR or a wall clock or things like that. They use VFDs. Right. Yeah. So it's basically a gas in a little chamber, and they run some high-energy electrons through it, and it excites the gas, and you get these colors. And there is something special about them. I mean, Stephen, right? Tell me about your experience with these little bad boys.
Well, so let me tell the story how I found Glenn, the Super Cobra, because it is the funniest thing. So my wife and I, we were traveling between my mother-in-law's place and where we live now, and it's a 2.5-hour drive, basically. So we stop on the side of the road in this place with shipping containers, essentially all this stuff out. So we stop in. It's like almost like a mini yard sale, and I look inside, and I'm like, this person had not a wall full of them, but a few of them. There's a few of those handhelds I gave to Willie over at R-Cade USA. Go check out his channel. But there was a Super Cobra, and Glenn was just starting to get into this whole mini thing, thanks to me, obviously.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
No, I kind of got him addicted to that, sadly. I was the drug dealer for that, guilty. So I get this thing, and I was like, I asked the woman, I said, how much you want? She's like, I think it was like $5. I'm like, I'll take it. And I didn't even know if it worked. And then when I showed Glenn, I said, Glenn, I'm going to send you this thing. And he saw it, and he was like, oh, my God, Super Cobra. So then I shipped it out to him and stuff like that. So,
and it's in really good shape. It was in really good shape.
It needed a bit of cleanup, I think,
not much
inside, but not much. But in that same side of the road yard sale or whatever, there was a TurboGrafx 16 in a box with the controllers, power supply, and everything. And the woman made a package deal for me. I got the whole thing for $30.
Oh, that was a deal.
That was a deal and a half. I got in my car so damn fast and drove off, and before she changed her mind or figured out that I got a TurboGrafx 16 for $30. I drove out of there so fast. So, but yeah. So, did you want me to tell the story on?
In 1 second, I forgot to show this. So this
thing here.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I forgot to show the Coleco commercial. This is what we saw back in the day. This is
I played
1982. Let's take a look.
Hey, that's Frogger. Yeah, it's the official tabletop version of the arcade game. It plays the same. Where'd you get it? It's the arcade.
That's authentic excitement right there.
Galaxian, it's mine. Pac-Man. You want to take it home? Yeah. My own Pac-Man. This arcade? Could you? Donkey Kong? Donkey Kong? The official tabletop version.
Frogger, Donkey Kong, and Midway's Pac-Man and Galaxian. The arcade games you can take home with you from Coleco.
Now, again, we're talking, 1982.
Did you notice they didn't show the screens of what they look like?
No, they did in the other commercials. They had They had a Pac-Man commercial. They had, the Donkey Kong commercial. And those individual ones, they did show them.
Oh yeah, but there they made sure it's like, ooh,
Yep.
it's,
So they
you're getting authentic.
It was 82, 83. Sorry, 81, 82, and 83 is when these had come out. Because then the crash happened. North American gaming crash happened.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to make the Frenzy and the Berserk. No, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be Berserk and Omega Race.
Oh, okay.
Coleco was supposed to make them, but then the crash happened, so they never actually made them. And that's kind of why Coleco, what is it, revisited? What is it called? Coleco Revival came out to make those. But again, they're still, I can't say better, because there's something about those VFDs that are just...
It's nostalgic. It's just
Very
that
much so.
It's kind of like listening to vinyl records. They may not be technically the best. That's arguable, obviously. But there's nothing that beats the sound of a vinyl record. There's nothing. You can listen to it in your car and have the best digital and everything, but it just has that distinct flavor or vibe, and that's what this stuff is in the end, really. So, but I want to tell my story about this yellow.
Tell your story. Go ahead.
Okay, so here I'm going to point, if I can get my finger line, this thing right here, the Pac-Man Tommy thing. If you guys, I don't know if you're watching this on your computer or the TV or whatever, there's two little stickers on the side there, and I didn't put them there. It says Hires Root Beer and Crush, Orange Crush, the Crush logos. When I was a kid, at least here in Northern Ontario, Canada, there you go. So they had, if you looked under bottle caps, you guys remember the actual glass bottles? They actually had, you had to spell Pac-Man. So if you had an Orange Crush, you'd look under the cap, and it'd be the letter P. And then under your root beer, it'd be the letter A, et cetera, et cetera. And the missing letter was the letter C. Well, when I was a kid, I don't know how old I was. I must have been 13 or 14 years old. I got everything once. I didn't get doubles. I got 2 A's, but I needed 2 A's. And you had to spell Pac-Man with these bottle cap things underneath or whatever. And I showed up to the place where I got it, and I told the guy, he didn't believe me that I never got doubles because everybody in town had doubles of everything. And he gave me that, and you know what? He came up to me, and I forgot to tell you this part, Glenn. He came up to me, he said, "I'm really happy a kid won this." Because I was young and everything. He didn't want some old lady or somebody that wouldn't appreciate it in a sense, right? He's like, "I'm really happy you won this thing. Congratulations." And then I left with, I thought I was the luckiest kid on earth when I won that thing. I had never won anything before that. And you feel invincible after that, in a sense that you're like, I won this thing. It was kind of like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like winning the lottery as a kid, in a sense. And I loved Pac-Man. And the Pac-Man beside it is what I had for Christmas one year. But now I had 2 of them. So I was like Pac-Man guy, you know what I mean? It was pretty cool.
Well, Paul's saying it sounds like the Monopoly game, but they actually did it here too. They used to have, Pepsi had the same thing. I think even Coke had done it. You went under the bottle caps of the glass bottles, and they had prizes or things. So I'm glad you won. I mean, I won Rad Racer.
Well, you won something. I mean,
I did.
It's pretty cool. Now, these 2 machines, if you played them around your parents, they wanted to kill you because they made the most annoying. Well, the one on the left, it's the most annoying thing ever. The other one, it doesn't make that siren sound, but it makes a creepy sound, like a cricket sound almost. And it's So, anyways, I still have them. My original one to this day. That's a picture. The Pac-Man was replaced a while back because I guess I killed it when I was a kid.
Well, you played it.
I was a very curious kid. I took shit apart and didn't put it back together. I'm sure most of the people in the chat, if you're a little electronically inclined, you took stuff apart to see how it worked inside. And sometimes you didn't know how to put it back together.
I took a lot of stuff apart, but I always got it back together.
Well, that was one of the first things I took apart, just to see if there was, I don't know if there was real Pac-Man in there or not or whatever, just to see what was inside. But it was pretty cool. It was a cool story. So, and then I've got show my little collection. It's not as extensive as Glenn's.
Here we go. Do the slideshow. Bloop, bloop. There we go.
So those are the Pac-Man pair, I'll call it, and those are my other ones. So the Frogger I got from a friend of mine in California. His name's Alan. He got a hold of Frogger for me. The Miss Pac-Man I got for $50, and then the Donkey Kong on the previous picture is Glenn here sent it to me. He's like, "Thanks for the addiction. Here you go. Here's a Donkey Kong."
Bitch.
I was like, "Ah."
I'm gonna be honest. The small.
But I wanted a
handhelds-
Donkey Kong real bad, you know.
The small handles take up a lot of room. I mean, I had one room, a small bedroom with my console collection, which has still expanded. You know, New Wave Toys expanded a lot, but I have so many. Put a Steven, because I got the drug of I have to collect the Clecos. Well, then I have to collect this one. Then I have to collect this one.
Yeah.
It's
Like Pokemon, gotta get them all.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now here's an interesting thing on the Zaxxon. A lot of people don't realize it. It actually is 3D. So it actually has 2 VFD playfields, if you will, and they're staggered. So when you're looking into it, it actually does have because Zaxxon was what? It was a 3D game, right?
Isometric, they call it, or whatever.
Correct. So this, and let me tell you something. It's the hardest effing game. It's if you go 2 spots and you die. You just cannot play the game. But the effect is actually really cool when you pull back on that little stick.
Totally unplayable?
I think so. But when you pull on the stick, you actually see your ship coming up towards yourself, and you're going down. It goes down. So
that's pretty cool.
It's just good that Coleco. That's what I got to say about Coleco. When they went into the games, whether we're doing the football or the old Pongs or the ColecoVision or these handhelds, they really did put some thought into it. It wasn't just like they threw something together and threw it out there. Like here you can see there's
some engineering in my
They did a really
opinion.
good job with these things. The sounds were not so great, but they did a really good job.
Show the speak and spell. So for the folks, I know that Jason's talking about he's got to put an ET plushie beside his speak and spell. Well, the speak and spell there, if you get that picture
next
up.
Let's see if we come up next, I think. There we go.
There we go. So that's a French speaking speak and spell.
Speak America's scum.
Bonjour, B-O-N. You know, it's in French, obviously, but I had never seen a French speak and spell. I saw a lot of English ones and everything else. So I got that at a yard sale for I think it was like $5.
I had the original speak and spell where it actually had like actual buttons, not the soft front, but you could buy expansion cartridges that went in the battery area. Was any French expansion?
Yeah. There is a port at the back there to plug in a module.
Did they have any though for French speaking?
I don't know. I never looked into it, so it's hard to say. It's interesting. So, what else?
Video Game Vegas, I gotta tell you.
You still got that slider thing that I sent you the picture of?
Yes.
Okay, show it later, but yeah.
But like Video Game Vegas, man, if you can get a Donkey Kong at $50, like now, would be a steal. I mean, they're going for like $100 at this point, or plus.
Oh yeah.
And if you get them in a box, we're talking $300. Because boxes really did not stand the test of time.
Oh God, no! My box is so destroyed so long ago. Even the one for the yellow Pac-Man or whatever, they don't last very long in a kid's hands.
I have no boxes for any of the Colecos other than the recharged or the revisited ones, whatever they call them. I got the Robotech, which I love the movie, the animated series Robotech. So I bought 2. I was going to keep one. I was going to modify one. I just haven't had time, but it's really not very good. I mean, I appreciate Coleco coming back, but even the plastic, Steve, I don't know if you felt one of these new ones. It's like a soft or softer plastic. The old Colecos, it's almost like a brittle. It's like
yeah.
It's hard, solid plastic. This new one's like a different material. It doesn't feel as
a different
substantial.
plastic type, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess it didn't help that I knew the guy that made these Coleco things, and
yeah, man. Ooh.
Just that whole.
You knew him at the wrong time too. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think I knew him just in time, to be honest, because it was good. Like that when I met this person in person, it was all good, but later on, you was just like, oh my God. So I just, I unfortunately severed my ties with the individual. So it's won't name names. I'm not here to bash the guy or whatever. It's just it's kind of like grazing one of those friends bullets. You know what I mean? So, but the one on the bottom. So let's talk about the emulation that's on these things, not on the things, but of these
this
things.
thing? Hold on. I just meant saying, did I crank up the ads? It's been bad this evening. Is he saying there's audio feedback or something?
Maybe it's just distorted because it's too loud. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
Let him type up another thing. But apparently there's emulation for these things within your PC or a Raspberry Pi that it mimics the VFDs, right?
Yeah, actually, yes. So
On MAME, or a portion of MAME or
No, I
whatever.
don't think it's even MAME. There's like a Game and Watch emulator that you can install in RetroPie, Game Station,
Okay.
and you could do the Game and Watch, like Juggler, with the balls, with the
Yeah.
LCD. But they have Tron, they have Donkey Kong. So yes, if you have
all these Coleco ones or whatever.
absolutely, you can
That's
play them
cool.
in there, and they will.
I've never
do
tried
it.
that.
They'll do it to where you can see the machine, or just zoom into the screen. And it's just, if you look under when you go into add an emulator into Emulation Station, just look for the Game and Watch. Put that in there, and then you just go and do a search in like the Internet Archive for the Game and Watch ones. You get them all down, and you can play them. I got to say, and Steve, we were talking about it before. The other cool thing about the Coleco, at least the old ones like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian,
the classics.
Those were actually designed for 2 players. There were 2 joysticks on there.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think one person's Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, and the other person plays the Ghost. You can challenge each other. Or in Galaxian, one person's got your starship at the bottom, and the other guy is the invader at the top. So you can actually actively play a friend, which was, again, kind of cool. Because, again, back then, unlike today, friends came over. People came over to the house. So
physically, there used to be 20 bikes in your front lawn.
So it was kind of good to challenge your friend and play at the same time versus I'm playing, you watch me play, then I give it to you. You could play, and that's something you don't see much anymore, right?
I don't
see that.
I don't see like kids on pedal bikes. We used to be like a posse going down the street of 10 people with pedal bikes. That was our mode of transportation to our freedom. I don't know what your neighborhood was like back in the day, but I grew up and there was kids everywhere with pedal bikes.
There was.
Now you look down the street and there's nobody.
At some points there were like 20 kids, playing like bicycle tag or dodgeball or kickball or something like that. And other times you had your tight, like 5 or 6 guys you always kind of hung out with, and you had the bigger crew. Yeah. They came out. But you don't see that anymore, really.
And putting the baseball card in the spokes to make the motocross sound,
Oh, I think I know what he's talking about now. I think they're talking about ads like in my show. Like it's stopping and there's ads coming while we're talking. Those YouTube ads. I didn't change anything. Blame YouTube.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think that's what he means. I just saw Goofy
on a live stream. There's ads.
Because Goofyfoot saying I've seen 5 advertisements in 20 minutes. So it's not me. Shit. I didn't change a thing, but I can't speak for what YouTube does. They got to get their $5 trillion in.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. We don't notice it here, so I haven't been keeping an eye on the second monitor of the live stream. So
no.
And I don't have a YouTube premium.
You got to be looking all the time. You got to be going head to head.
Oh well, I think I'm gonna because we were trying to figure out what the people meant with the ads. I thought they meant the ads at the beginning of the show, but no, apparently not. So
I'll tell you something else too. It's off of here. It's off of here. Where is it? Okay, I want to bring that up here too. So I have Verizon for my cell phone, and for 2 phones, they charge me $150 a month for 2 phones.
Really?
So, yeah. So I'm trying this thing. It's called Vision. Is it Vision? Let me see. I gotta see this here.
What's
Visible Mobile, which apparently uses Verizon's network. So I'm just on trial right now. But the number they gave me, I get like 50 spams an hour. My phone's like blowing up. It's happening again, like spam call. So if I'm looking over, I'm trying to silence my phone. So I forgot to bring this up too. Okay, this has been a bad week. So here is the original 7. These are the original 7 ones that were released by Coleco and one by Nintendo. So the Pac-Man and the Galaxian was 81. The Frogger
I had
and
the
Donkey
Pac-Man
Kong.
one.
I think everyone did. But then Frogger and Donkey Kong was 82. And Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr., and Zaxxon were 83. And then, of course, the crash happened, and that kind of ended
Wiped
it all.
out.
And
Yeah.
Michael B is right. I actually lose money. I'm paying you guys money to buy my stuff, so you're welcome.
I'm keeping an eye on the left-hand side here and see if there's ads, but so far there isn't.
I got hit
know.
with one always when I first go in. I get hit with a stupid ad at that point. But
yeah, usually it's over. But in live stream, I don't know. Maybe
they do it. Oh, they do it.
You maybe our show's blowing up and they just want advertisers. Who knows? Is
Sean. So real quick. So I'm doing
That's
a
my
trial
cousin.
right now. Oh, so I still have my Verizon number. I still have that on my phone. I have a Google Pixel 6 Pro, and I'm able to add a second one. It's two dual SIMs. So I have two phone numbers on my phone right now. And to be quite honest, again, I'm paying $149 for two
what kind of
phones.
data you get with that?
What's that? Oh, unlimited.
What kind of data? It's unlimited. No,
Unlimited.
but when they say that, they say we'll give you 5G speeds, and then when you get too excited,
I'm sure they're going to do
we
that.
throttle
Here's
you
the
down to
difference.
56K modem.
two phones, $150 versus two phones at $50. I'll get $25 with taxes included. Tax included, still using Verizon's towers. I've been testing it. It's I'm not getting super fast speed, but I can surf. I can watch YouTube. I can watch live stream videos and stuff.
Good enough.
So I think after 15 days, I'm going to tell Verizon to go scratch. They'll still have me because I'm on their network. But I'm going to go with this, I keep forgetting the name, Visible Mobile for $25 a month for a phone, unlimited data, including 5G, with taxes included.
Not a paid sponsorship promotion here, by the way.
I just think
He's just excited to save money.
Yeah, because you know what? It cost me now $30 for like 12 eggs and milk. You can't even store it for anything other than that.
You know what? It's sad that like phone companies, like here in Canada, we don't have a lot of choice. You guys in the States have a lot of choice.
Someone's bringing up a Christmas story. Oh, no. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future?
Yeah, no one's
You must be rich.
Rich, exactly.
You must be rich. What do you mean? You saw what is it? I saw it on reruns. How can you have seen it? It's brand new. I can know every line of Back to the Future, sadly. So
well, it was a really good movie. And I guess the Ghostbusters is pretty good. I haven't seen it.
Afterlife. No, the Frozen thing there. Yeah.
It's supposed to be pretty good. I don't know.
I heard some reviews that it's not as good as the first one, but it's decent. It's a good ride and everything. I just watched Madam Web with my wife.
I heard that was horrible.
I heard, you know what, dude? It's not that bad. Like, I think it's
like
it's
getting
not a
your
great
foot amputated by eating a wolf eating off. It's not that bad.
No, cut your leg off with a butter knife, maybe. I don't know. So I think in the end, it's exaggerated in my opinion, right? So in the end, yeah.
I don't know. I heard
it's highly exaggerated. Like I've seen worse movies. Let's just say that. It's not that bad.
Well, I watch,
it's not great.
Critical Drinker. I watched my Critical Drinker, and he just basically barfed all over it. And Midnight's Edge barfed all over it. So I'm not going to.
You know what? It's. I thought it was going to be more woke, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I expected it really bad.
Did this start already? Did X-Men 97
I think
start?
so, yeah. I think a few episodes came out, yeah.
Really? Okay, I have to check that out. I'm a little disappointed because I changed Rogue's butt. When you look at the classic cartoon, Rogue's butt, and her new butt, she's not the same butt on Rogue.
You like big butts and you cannot lie?
Hey, Rogue, she had the voice.
And the brother can't deny?
Rogue had the body and the butt. And I don't know. They kind of changed it. Okay, so you're being asked.
Paul's asking me, what is the worst movie ever?
The Toxic Avenger Part 2 that I'm in. I vote that.
No, you know what? I think what makes a bad movie, in my opinion, is that the hype that gets put out there, and that's supposed to be really good, and then you go see it, and you're like, "What the hell did I just watch?" And I'm trying to remember. I'm not saying Madam Web is a great movie, by the way.
Whoa. What's
Gambit
this?
is trans. What the hell?
What? Now, Gambit and Rogue have the hots for one another. Now, See, I'm not going to watch it. If this is true, I am not watching it. I need to know. I need in the chat. I need to know if they're putting Gambit down as trans. If they are, I am not freaking watching it. I will not watch it.
Yeah, exactly. It's, I don't know. It's what's the worst movie? I mean, that's a loaded question. If I had to pinpoint one, I think that, you know what? I'll tell you what the worst movie is, and I think Glenn's going to agree with me. The Last Jedi, Star Wars. That is the worst movie I've seen in years.
What? I never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither. Next. I know it's not because it's Star Wars. It is the biggest disappointment of a movie. The director, yeah. I can't. Don't get me started. I don't go off like Glenn does with Kathleen Kennedy and stuff, but I'm not a Ryan Johnson fan at all. That's the worst movie, Last Jedi.
Oh, what's this here?
I won't do a microphone drop, but whatever. No, people are upset because he wears half shirts in one scene. It's not a big deal. Okay. Shots fired. Shots fired.
I'm a little worried now. I'm a little worried.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's
This one's pretty bad too. You know, the problem is when you have a video game or something that has a known story and you freaking change it or try to make it different, it's always gonna suck. It's always gonna suck.
I don't know if it's that bad. I think only the first 2 episodes are out there, but we'll see, I guess. You know, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what Paul rebutted after I said, you know,
break
into electric
boogaloo.
Well, okay. So for those of you who have no idea what Breakin' is a breakdancing movie with 2 guys and this girl that does ballet and she does breakdancing later on, all that stuff. But the second one, yeah, it is pretty bad, Paul. I have to agree with you because I enjoyed the first movie when I was a kid. Nowadays, not so bad. Okay, so what do we got here?
I read this.
Non-binary.
They changed Morph. They freaking changed Morph. They did. I saw it and read that one.
Damn.
I don't think I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to ruin the legacy of the real show with them doing stuff like this. He can't. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot.
Probably the only thing they got right is a theme song I heard.
I can't.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's these guys, they go touch this stuff. And Glenn and I have talked about it for a couple years now.
Yeah, you don't need to change it for a new audience. You already have an audience locked in. The people watched it before, and you don't have to go in and start effing with the characters. Make a new character. Make a new character trans. Make a new character binary.
Or a new show.
Morph was not binary.
Yeah, they've got to the point where they don't follow the Bible of the story, right?
Yeah, this was pretty bad too. I actually had good memories of this show because Jean-Claude Van Damme was in it.
No retreat, no surrender.
Yeah, it was Van Damme's first film. He was the bad guy.
Jean-Claude Goddamn.
I had great memories of it, and it was torturous watching it again. It was like, oh my god.
Bad 80s movies. That's a whole show on its own.
It really was.
I think maybe next week, if we don't have a guest or something, we'll do bad 80s movies. There's a ton of them out there.
You know,
Grab by the Ghoulies, man, is one of them.
How about that's our 100th episode? We do that for the 100th episode. Like really bad 80s movies. That might be
really bad. There's a lot of stinkers out there for sure. Not just the Cosmic Avenger, the Toxic Avenger. Sorry, the Toxic Avenger series or whatever. It's like I think there's some good. You know what? It's kind of funny too. I think there should be a show that we do about those pleasant surprise, those pleasant surprise 80s back of the shelf movies. You ever remember doing that? Go to the video store and you've seen, all the popular crap. Then you're in the back and while looking at these movies that, you know what I'm saying? You're going to the back and you're like, okay, what is this? The cover art's pretty cool. You bring it home and you're like, what the hell is this? And you think it's interesting or whatever. And yes, some of the bad acting or whatever. And those were always interesting.
That was what I was in Video Game Vegas. Come on. I was only joking before. Come on.
Was there a Never Ending Story 2?
I don't know.
Remember that. If there was, I never heard of it, but
same.
Remember Iron Eagle? That wasn't
I
terrible.
like Iron Eagle, but Iron Eagle 2 was horrible.
What about Enemy Mine? You remember seeing that?
I liked Enemy Mine. That
With
was good.
Dennis Quaid and
that was good.
Robert, what is it? Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah, he played
Alien
he
or
played
whatever.
a binary,
The Alien.
I guess. He was male, female was like one thing, but that was good.
Yeah.
They actually used sound effects from Space 1999. Jerry Anderson. So
Rich
I was down with that.
Raldo says anything with Steven Seagal. You know what I like about Steven Seagal? Nothing about the man himself.
Oh, because
it's all the people. It's all the people that make fun of him.
No, this is what he
It's
does.
hilarious.
This is what he does. Steven Seagal. Wait. It's slow, but he stops everything. He just
Oh yeah, he can beat anybody up. Anybody that knows real karate, he can beat anybody up. But it's the guy. What is it? The skit comedy show in Living Color or something like that.
right.
That there's a guy, or Saturday Night Live. There's a guy that makes fun of Steven Seagal, and he's like near perfect. And he's, I forget what it is. Anyways, there's a guy that Jack Black is in Neverending Story 3.
There's a 3?
There, yeah, that's never mind Jack Black. There's a 3. Video Game Vegas said it there. Yeah, it's like
Really?
yeah. Star Crash, awful Star Wars.
Star Crash is pretty damn bad. But
is it?
but it's got the boy in it. It's got the Mr. Knight Rider in there, David Hasselhoff.
As a young man.
Yeah, I think it was his first like major film he was in. But it is so effing bad. You just got to drink a couple beers, watch, and go, what the hell did they smoke when they made this film? It is really, really bad.
There's a lot of movies in the 80s that you were like...
Ice Pirates.
Time Bandits was pretty good.
Time Bandits was, as a kid it was okay, but...
You watch it now, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
It didn't... But you were always interesting. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Russian
He is
Rue
tall.
Cat. He ran in, and
He is tall.
That's all it is, though. The dude, nobody likes him. Apparently, nobody likes the guy.
Well, he married Kelly
They all make
LeBrock.
fun of him, and
He messed
he
her up.
wants to-
He knocked Kelly LeBrock around, I think.
Yeah. What was he thinking?
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
look,
like-
everyone. After this show, you can go watch Star Crash on YouTube with ads.
Right
It's
now.
so bad. It is so bad.
Okay, think about this as a young teenager. Okay, we all remember that Steven Seagal used to slap around Kelly LeBrock, and we all saw her in Weird Science, and we all thought that watching Weird Science, and we're like, "Damn you, Steven Seagal! What are you doing, you dummy?"
Yeah, you mess. Poor Kelly LeBrock. Last
No, but like-
Starfighter, great film. Great film.
The Last Starfighter, yes, that was a Gremlins, good movie.
They're making
The
Gremlins
Goonies.
4, I think.
Yeah, I heard they were toying around with rebooting Goonies. Don't touch Goonies.
Nah, okay. There's certain things I leave
Don't
alone.
touch. Yeah. There's certain things where you don't mess with it. It'd be like somebody going, "Hey, let's make Gone with the Wind again."
Yep.
I don't
Or
like
else-
Gone with the Wind, but it's a classic.
Far Out Space Nuts had Gilligan on it.
What?
The Far Out
Gilligan?
Yeah, Gilligan. They were.
I forget his
they
real
were
name
working
there,
at
but-
NASA, and the guy says lunch, and he pressed launch. He goes, I said lunch, not launch. And they get shot up into space, and they find this little creature who's got a horn on his head. It's called Honk. He goes, wink, 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 wink. And it's like, it's the Croft, Kelly Croft. whatever it is.
Damn.
But it was actually not bad, as a kid.
Scar children for life with that stuff. But that's the thing, right? So we're talking about VFDs, but we sidelined into bad
that's what we
80s
do,
movies.
though.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
That's what we do.
Buckaroo Banzai, RoboCop's in there, or Peter Weller. Isn't
Yes.
that the movie with Peter Weller in it?
Yeah, the I didn't really
Haven't seen
care
it
for
in a
the
while, but-
remake of RoboCop. I mean, the special effects were good, but
The video game is actually quite good. The new game, I have it. It's pretty good. But the
RoboCop?
new RoboCop with Joel, what's his face? He's in Altered Carbon on Netflix. It's
I still
pretty
gotta
good.
watch that.
Yeah, Golden Girls. 10
No,
episodes.
Altered
by the way,
Carbon. Altered Carbon, I gotta watch.
Altered Carbon, so good. I started watching Deep Space Nine, by the way.
Oh, okay, very good. What'd you think?
And had never. Well, I'm only through the first season, not through all of it yet. But you know what? I never gave that show a chance. I'm glad I'm watching it now. I have an appreciation for a little slower Star Trek, I guess is the best way to put it with that show.
Okay.
It's a slower paced Star Trek. There's not always an alien attacking, or it's sometimes just something weird that happens on Deep Space Nine or whatever. So it's pretty good. Altered Carbon is very good.
Yeah, that's what
If
he
you
said.
do yourself a favor, it's not Warcraft. Sorry, Paul. But basically, it's really, really, really good television.
I still have to watch the one where
Altered
it's like
Carbon.
something the Wolf, where these AIs take embryos to another star system and they're raising humans, these androids. It's called.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what you're talking about. Not raised by wolves or something like that.
That is raised by wolves, isn't it?
Well, it is a robot mother, and there's some kids, and they're raising kids and all that stuff, and they're androids on another planet or whatever. But yeah, I don't remember I think it's Raised by Wolves. Hold on.
Big Trouble in Little China is a good film. I like Big Trouble in Little China.
Raised by Wolves TV series. Yep, that's what it is.
It
Raised
was
by
Raised
Wolves.
by Wolves. I thought so.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I was right.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, and Altered Carbon. Yeah, Altered Carbon.
Yeah, I knew this was going to come up. So there was a technical problem that New Wave Toys was having on an electronic level. So we, as in T-Sticks and myself, are working to make sure the product is going to come out working properly, I should say. So it's getting held up a little bit because of that. The firm that they were using before, apparently they had a falling out, and T-Sticks and myself are going to pick up that slack and make sure this product comes out. So it's still going to be announced, but we now have to fix some things in the product that Shiloh was very unhappy with, that the previous developer was doing.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're fixing it. We got in contact with a lot of their engineering team, and we're working on it. So it is being delayed a little bit, but Shiloh was not happy with certain parts of the electronics and the way it was working. So unfortunately, he had to sever that tie, and we're going to try and do it the right way. So that's what's going on with that, unfortunately.
Hey,
you
know what?
Though,
I'd rather hear that than put out garbage, right?
Right. And for anyone who did order the Sinden Target Pro, they have arrived and they started shipping. So if you did pre-order it, that should be on its way out. And if you ordered the fighter stick for the Build-A-Case, that has also started shipping out. The Viper is being held up because I found one error with Sinden support in our own build. It works, but the screen gets shrunk down a little bit. We don't want that. We want it to be full screen. So we're just fixing that, and once that happens, that order will go live for the Viper, and for the Ikari. I'm sorry, the iiRcade. I'm expecting any moment to get the new, hopefully, final version of the Viper switcher for it, and if everything works, we'll start that as well. So
cool.
We're working on a lot of things back. We're trying. I mean, it means a lot to me that Shiloh came to me. I mean, when this thing, I can't go into, he can announce and tell you what the problem was, but he came to us to fix it. And we gave him our price, and he saw up again. I probably lowballed it, but the price was, you can say, yes. So we'll take care of it and make sure it comes out right.
Cool. That's awesome. We got some Bushkin Rucat says, "Hey guys, has Knight Rider the original aged well? I'm not sure. It has not.
No, none of them.
Like Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider,
we're
all that stuff. Sadly,
those VR rose-colored goggles are on our faces, because I went back to a lot of shows, even like Airwolf. I loved Airwolf.
Oh yeah,
it's it's okay.
Some of it didn't age very well. Like MacGyver didn't age well at all.
No.
I had a hard time watching 10 seasons or whatever amount of seasons it was of that show, and I was like, Star Trek.
Oh look,
Next Generation has.
I'm sorry, real quick. Goodfoot, his boomstick is arriving on Monday, so his order.
See, everybody's calling it the boomstick. Why did your marketing guys use that?
We got to remember. Remember, it was Sinden. We had a partnership with Sinden, so he had a say. So the Sinden Target Pro, I would have fine calling the boomstick, but
the boomstick's way more catchy. It's so 80s too. So we got a super chat. Yeah.
Did you review the Coleco Top Gear? No, I didn't order that one. The only reason I ordered the Berserker Frenzy was because it went on eBay.
There was one.
I lowballed it, and he accepted the offers for those. I know that I think P-Dubs Arcade Loft has got one coming. I think one review was already done on an early prototype of it, so you could definitely find it. But thank you for the super chat. But I didn't get that one. Again, when I find a problem with it and they got to fix it, it goes on eBay. I'll buy it lowballed again, just to put it in the collection.
So Paul's asking, can you even find Dukes of Hazzard anywhere? In the back alleyways of the internet.
I'm sure you can find it.
Not your. It's hard to find, but I don't know if it's on any streaming service.
Even Amazon Prime doesn't have it on. They have like everything on it.
I don't know. I had to go find my my stuff in a dark alleyway of the internet. So.
Oh, dude, did you see Daisy Duke lately though?
Catherine Bach,
Yeah,
her name
she's
was, or whatever.
She's not going to be on those Daisy Dukes anymore. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. Again, like you said earlier, about 5 minutes ago, keep that stuff in your head the way you remember it.
Well, it's so good up here.
Remember her when she was in her prime or whatever, right?
You know, the only thing I think that stands the test of time is like Looney Tunes. Remember the old Looney Tunes? Those cartoons. You watch like Looney Tunes. It's just as funny now as they were then, if you could find them. You know.
You know, a lot of the animated stuff does hold up still.
Some does, some doesn't. Some
Battle of the Planets is not bad.
Not bad, still. But I used to remember watching Mask. Mask. You know, they had these helmets on and those things. I used to love that show. Then I watched it. I'm like, what the F?
Yeah.
What the F? This is horrible. It was really bad. Yeah. But other things like G.I. Joe stands test time.
Greatest American Hero. Even that show, I loved it as a kid. I can't even watch.
It's a little hard
episodes.
To watch.
It's hard. Some of this stuff, unfortunately, didn't age well. Not because of, like, I'll give you an example.
Whoa.
My wife.
Do you see what he just wrote here?
No.
They cannot. That's like the whole point of the show. You can't take the Confederate flag off the General Lee.
It's like when they.
He's another tirade.
It's like what they did with Splash. Remember what they did with Splash on Disney Plus?
Yeah, but
they yanked out.
And Lucas, I blame Lucas for this. Okay, when you make a movie,
leave it.
It's made in the time. It's made in that. Like even Blazing Saddles. I have to admit, it's hard watching it now.
The edited version, like they say online, it would be like 5 minutes.
It's like the title screen that goes off. You got to leave the movies for the generation of time that was released. That tells you about the culture as well. You can't go in there.
It's a time capsule in a sense.
That really pisses me off.
Glenn, perfect example. My wife and I, we watched Police Academy 1 and 2. There's boobies flying all over the place in that show. There's the Blue Oyster Bar that, you know, basically...
Yeah, gay bar, isn't it? At the gay bar?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But they're hostile in there, but they start dancing with you. and having that now... I don't know if the gay community would be happy about that. I don't know. So
again,
it
when
doesn't age
made
crazy
at
well
the
or
time,
not, right? So
that's the culture of the time.
That's right.
Leave it alone. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's just it's so simple. Don't watch it.
Remember it as it was. It's exactly what it is. You start messing around with this stuff.
Do you see me turning into The View? No. I don't go watch The View.
This show here ain't no View.
No, but I'm smart enough to know those chickens or roosters, whatever the hell they are clucking away. I don't need to watch what they're talking about. So I don't watch
Iceman said Benny Hill. Benny Hill is no.
That poor guy died alone.
Yeah, he died in his apartment or whatever.
Yep.
He had checks that he didn't cash.
And you know why? Because his show went from being super popular to all of a sudden becoming it's a very sexist show, and then they kind of blackballed him, I guess. And
it's a damn BBC's fault for airing the damn thing in the first place. They made their money and they were like, "Oh, not good PR." Bye-bye.
And Hobby Hands is this is how I love about our show. We started by talking about VFDs, now we're talking about this, and this is the problem. Erasing history doesn't. But they think it does.
Oh,
they think it does.
If we go even further back before our childhood, Glenn, you and I. You get shows like Davy Crockett. They used to shoot Aboriginal folks. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which,
you know what I mean? It's like,
I saw
that goes further back.
I saw a great meme today on that very thing you just said. A great meme. I eat Land O'Lakes butter or margarine, whatever it is. And Land O'Lakes had an American Indian lady on it.
That's right.
And then the land in the background. So they protested. They took the lady off. The Indian is gone. So now the new meme says, "Oh, get rid of the Indian and keep the land." And that's and I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
Wow.
that's what you get for doing something stupid like that. That's what you get now.
Well, that's the thing. But when the further you go back, not that the worse it gets, but there's some racism stuff back in movies. There's all kinds of animal cruelty, whatever you want to, all of it. The human spectrum, I like to call it. It's all there, and you accept it because that's a flash in history, right? So it's pretty funny.
That's the thing. That's the next thing. Put it right here. If you're offended, you have a right to be offended.
Wrong show.
I don't need to
this one.
change myself, and 100 billion people don't need to change ourselves because one person's offended or 10 people offended. That's called living in a free society. If you don't like it, you can voice your opinion. You can say, "Hey, I don't like it," and then go the other way.
Yeah,
that's the problem with this world today. One person goes, "I don't like it," and everything falls apart. That's not how this society works.
What they do is they go on the internet and they become a troll basically, and they complain. So in the end, it's like,
oh, you know what, Bill? I got to say this. So, yes. So I said to my brother last weekend, I said, "Gary, why don't we watch Song of the South?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, I have a copy of it because I know it's banned. We have it on VHS. So we haven't watched it in forever. I put it in.
Okay, hold on. For those, preface maybe how it's banned, you said, and why it was banned. So maybe
it's banned
give us
because
the TLDR.
It's banned because they felt it was almost like Aunt Jemima. You have Aunt Jemima, and in the syrup, you got to take her off.
Yeah.
Uncle Remus, slavery, all the stuff. It was, and songs. They felt it was very demeaning, and maybe it is. But the point I was trying to make is we watched it, and again, rose-colored glasses. It was boring as hell. I remember the cartoon. I remember him singing "Zippity-doo-dah" and all the cartoons.
Oh, that one?
Yes.
The movie that song comes from.
Yes,
oh, okay.
Zippity-doo-dah. So, but then you watch it now, and it's like, you know what? It's okay. I watched it. No one's gonna watch it. It's boring. It's boring. No one's gonna watch it.
Disney. You're safe, Disney. Nobody's gonna be.
Just let it be.
One guy on the front lawn of Disney going, "I hate this movie."
The thing is, they make a big stink about banning it and stuff. Now people want to go see it. Before, no one cared. You made them care because you're taking it away.
Rich Waldo's mentioning the Little Rascals.
Well,
what was interesting about the Little Rascals is that race meant nothing on that show to those kids. Like
no, it didn't mean anything to them.
And buckwheat and whatever, and it was really
Bill Cosby
charming.
I think Bill Cosby bought them all, and he took them off the air.
Bill Cosby?
Either he did or Michael Jackson. I forgot who did it. One of them did. Bought them. I want to say it was Bill Cosby, and took them off the air. Yeah. Yep.
Why?
It
wasn't racist at all.
He felt it totally was.
I mean, buckwheat was part of the gang.
Yep.
I don't know.
But he did.
Now, mind you, they sometimes maybe didn't treat him. They probably, "Hey, buckwheat, go do that," and the kid would do it, whatever. But it was, I loved that show when I was a kid. I loved it. I was watching it every time it came on. And Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son.
Wow. Sanford and Son had its own level of racism too.
Chico and the Man. Chico and the Man. I mean, come on.
Think about it. Sanford and Son, like, there was some racism in there too, in a sense.
Of course it was.
The white people would show up and everything would be different or whatever. It's like,
look at R.G.
And then the other shows are the same thing there. Same.
Yeah, it's a
different pile. That's right.
So the 70s was more open and free than we are today.
Oh yeah. It's crazy when you think about it. And and then you get a show like Different Strokes.
Yep.
The white guy taking care of two black kids with his white daughter that later on we discovered that actress does cocaine and shit like that.
She committed suicide or something.
Oh yeah. She totally crash landed her life. But the show, like Different Strokes comes along and it's a smash hit and makes Gary Coleman probably the most famous kid on the planet.
What you talking about, Steven?
Yeah, exactly. So it's stuff like that where it's pretty interesting. I own the Little Rascals actually on DVD.
Oh, don't let Bill Cosby know. He'll break your door down.
No, I bought them legitimately. So screw you. Go back to going to jail there, Bill. They didn't call it the Cosby room for nothing,
That's it.
So, but yeah, so we're running out of time.
We are.
Am I right?
And again, this is great. I got to do a video showing more of the VFDs. I did some in the past, but I probably should do more because I have like so many of these handhelds.
This is a perfect example tonight of the community driving the show a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Where we were talking about this and somebody said something really cool in the chat, and then there we went, boom.
Right
in a
off the
completely
rails.
different,
Right off the rails.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, and that's the thing with these VFDs. I think there's a certain charm to them, and they're gonna all die one day, unfortunately. But let's love them while they can, and that's it, So, Castlevania Bloodlines.
Yeah, I'll play some Castlevania. So, before the show, my brother keeps going. This is in the basement. I'm trying these cameras out. He keeps turning off the light. So I'm like, Gary, stop turning off the lights, man. I'm trying to do a show, and see if I get rid of that. There we go. Boom. Turn off that light.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, I'm gonna play some of this tonight.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. I missed the show so much. Married Children. Loved Al Bundy. Loved Peggy Bundy. Loved them all.
I love the whole show. The whole show was I think, to be honest with you, I'm going to start. I think it's one of the last few shows that were edgy on television, in a sense. I think it was the last bit of that wave of shows that you could, I won't say anything, but until the butthurt executives basically, we're not putting that on TV no more, or whatever, right? So, and I think Married with Children was one of the last. I'm not saying the last one, but
no, but it started changing after that.
After that,
2005, 2006, they started, backing off.
Yeah, and it's too bad because I think as human beings we like that kind of weird humor, or you know what I mean, and it is what it is. And nowadays we don't see any of that stuff, right?
You don't.
Yeah.
And actually, I find myself at a teetering point. I'm watching stuff that is definitely older. Like I go back watching older shows. But the problem is now I go back and watch them. I'm like, oh, it wasn't as good as I remember. You kind of like, there's still the good ones though. There's still your Star Treks, Space 1999, Battlestar Galactica, Married with Children, All in the Family. There's definitely gems out there. But
like
the other ones,
Star Trek Next Generation still holds up to this day, in my opinion.
It does, but like Picard sucks. I know you like it, but
no. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I've seen my share of crap, and Picard is not total crap. Maybe the first season was a little rough, but I think every show, the first season usually sucks.
Usually, yeah.
Of any show.
Rare. It's very rare to get out of the
like
gate.
Even Star Trek Next Generation, the first season was, After that, it got some legs, and
it was pretty hard.
But then it got its legs, and it was good after, So
See, I don't know if I can get back into Family Ties. I don't know if I can watch that again.
That did not age well either.
And
I don't.
Buck Rogers, I loved Buck Rogers as a kid. I loved that show.
Try watching it again.
The first season is tolerable, but that second season on the Searcher, man, with Hawk, I like Hawk, but that second season was just like they just open your mouth and put dog crap right in your mouth. It was just
that bad, huh?
Bad. It was bad. Off the rails. They tried same with Galactica in 1980. Battlestar Galactica 78. 1978. Great. It was very expensive. They redid it again for 79. So 78, 79. Then 80 comes out. Total shit in your mouth. Horrible show. Except for one episode. The Return of Starbuck, which was the last. It was like episode 6 where they canceled it. That was very good. But the rest of it was just absolutely an abomination.
We got Automan in there.
Automan again.
Too.
Great
theme song.
Great theme song. Great memories. Kind of hard to watch nowadays.
It is.
It's nice watching the car change and
Cursor.
Thank you. Going around. That was great. But the actual episodes are pretty rough.
Desi Arnaz Jr.'s in there.
Yes.
In that show, it was like, oh my God, Chips.
Oh,
Chips.
I went on Amazon.
California Highway Patrol.
I tried watching an episode again. Oh my God, what the hell were we doing back then? It was pretty
You know
bad.
what? I'm gonna tell you what I've learned or discovered going back to these shows. The theme songs is essentially what pulls us back in a lot of
Sometimes,
times.
yeah.
Dude, like think about it. When you hear the theme song of Chips or MacGyver, the actual show of MacGyver isn't great. But when you hear the theme song, you're like, this pretty Airwolf, another example.
Great theme song.
Street Hawk, all that
Street Hawk,
stuff.
great song. Great song.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But when you sit down, you're like, right after that theme song's over, you're like, oh crap. What the hell am I watching? You know? Chips, I don't know, man. It's,
I said, I haven't watched that in forever. I put an episode on. I was just like, oh my God, this is so bad. It is really
they made a movie
bad.
that was making a spoof of it or something. Eh? Of
Chips?
Yeah, I
I
think
remember-
there's
I remember.
a movie that came out, I want to say about 8 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. And it's kind of like, I don't know if it's,
Yeah, A-Team.
it's A-Team, yeah. And you know what's funny about A-Team? And I just discovered this watching Next Generation. The guy who plays, I forget, he's Barkley on Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, it's the dude from A-Team. What the
Oh,
hell?
yeah. He was a
I
helicopter
prefer his
pilot in
character.
A-Team. Yep.
I prefer him as Barkley in Next Generation than the guy from A-Team. I find his character more.
Oh, I can't. Every time I see him on the episode, all I think about is the A-Team. It's like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't-
yeah, for sure.
I can't think of anything else.
$6 million man.
You know what?
Yee.
Actually,
Yeah, super chat. Yeah.
yeah. Thanks for Super Chat. So my brother and I, we've been going through $6 Million Man. We watched.
Lately?
Yeah, we watched 2 weekends ago. We watched Death Probe and Bigfoot, and we alternate. So we watched.
You didn't go
before
in
here.
order or anything, or
Nah, well, we go in order, but now we go Bionic Woman. So we were watching.
okay?
It's like a HAL 9000 one. So she's trying to go and stop this nuclear bomb going off. It's called Alex
Okay,
4000
I
or something
don't
like that.
remember.
So we're doing that. So good. Bigfoot. Bigfoot episodes.
Maskatron, the
Maskatron,
guy who
those-
changed his face.
Oh yes.
He had they had a figure. My brother had the action figure of Maskatron. He had a Steve Austin face and a Gary Coleman, not Gary Coleman, or whatever the dude, whatever the guy's name was, and then changed his face
Oscar
again.
Goldman.
Oscar Goldman. Not Gary
Coleman.
Coleman. Sounds the same. But it's crazy when you think about it. I don't know. It's what I did start watching actually was a Canadian animated show was Reboot in the 90s.
Oh, that was us. Yeah, it was. They were inside the computer like Tron.
Yeah, it was kind of it was the first computer animated show apparently.
And it was pretty good. And it went like 2 seasons here in the States, and it came off the air. But you guys kept going. in
Well, it
Canada
was produced in Vancouver,
Yes.
if I recall.
by
So,
Megatron.
well, the
It's not
guys that
Megatron
did
Systems.
it was the people that did some of the stuff for Babylon 5. Some of
Yes.
that team went over and did that.
Correct.
Apparently,
And I actually like that show.
it was interesting. You know,
I
it
like
was,
Reboot.
it was cool to watch CG, and you look at it now.
Early
you
CG.
can tell it's like you could probably do the whole thing in Unreal Engine 4. You know,
I think earlier than that. I think the PS1 is still more powerful than what they were using for.
the stuff they were
Reboot.
using there. I don't remember what year it was, but anyways,
It had to be very late 80s, early 90s. I want to say maybe 91, 92 for
yeah,
Reboot.
I was going to college when that thing came out. So
Everyone
it's,
watched
92.
this show, and again, difficult to
Happy
watch
Days.
nowadays. You watch your Happy Days, and you watch Laverne and Shirley.
I have not
Sha
watched
Na
Happy
Na.
Days. I have not watched Happy Days in my older age here.
Because
so
you're not
I
happy
don't
anymore.
know.
We're not happy. We're old.
Yeah, we're not happy.
We're not
We're
happy. The Time
we're-
Tunnel. The Time Tunnel. That's it from the 60s.
I remember that actually. My dad used to watch that. That and The Saint.
The Saint. Yep. That was
The
good.
Saint. He used to watch
The
The
Man from
Saint
U.N.C.L.E.?
with was it Roger Moore or Sean Connery? The Saint.
Neither.
It was no. The Saint was one of the James Bonds, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Hold
I
on.
think you're
Google's
wrong.
our friend.
Yep. Take a look. I don't think it was.
The Saint. I'm not
Nanu-
talking about the
Nanu.
Roger Moore was the Saint.
Oh, okay. No, you know what I was thinking of? The Prisoner.
Not the Val Kilmer one.
No, I
there.
was thinking of The Prisoner. The Prisoner. That was another one. I was thinking of that.
Well, I remember not the prisoner, but it was the guy with the one-armed man. What the hell was it? You know what I'm talking about? The Fugitive.
Yes.
The series, The Fugitive.
Yep.
Every episode, a one-armed man was,
Yep.
running away or whatever. Yeah,
Yep.
the Saint was Roger Moore.
Yep, you guys
Yeah.
are right. I was wrong. I was thinking of The Prisoner. I was thinking of a totally different show.
Yeah. The Saint and all that.
Oh, here we
stuff,
go.
so.
Upgus reboot was 4 seasons from 94 to 2001. So I was right, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it was interesting. When you look at it now, it's an attempt of storytelling with computer animation.
But it was good. They're in mainframe. That was Mainframe Productions. That was it.
That's
Mainframe
right.
Productions.
Yeah,
They're in the mainframe,
there's
and
viruses in there.
Viruses, but a game would come in, and if you were in the area, you had to be part of that game.
Yeah.
From the user. So it was very Tron-like. So I think they did a good job with it.
Well, my friend, I think we should call it tonight because I've had a long week, and so have you.
So that's why I keep wanting to talk. This has been a very.
I would like to tonight, but I'm beat. I'm barely staying awake here.
So I want to thank
I
all
apologize
of you.
to everybody.
I want to thank you
guys
all
for
for doing this episode of VFDs. We're really talking about TV shows and going off the rails. So
it's a mixed bag here every time.
It's a mixed bag. So listen,
Yeah.
I hope you guys had a better week than we did. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Keep your chin up. Be kind to
Definitely.
people.
You helped me out. I'm in a better mood now. I think Steven is. I'm in a much better mood now than I was before.
I am actually.
Yeah,
Not that I was in a
pretty bad.
cranky mood, but it's when you have a long week and long hours, it's good to come and chit chat with you guys.
We do. I'm gonna try and do more live streams. I'm gonna try and do more gameplay shows. You can see the basement real quick, and I'm trying to get my area to where I can actually use it. I've given up, I think, on getting the basement fixed, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is, and try and do up too high. Try to do some videos of gameplays.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I think that's what's going to end up being at this point.
Cool.
Basement is just a lost cause, I think.
And thanks, guys, for coming out and joining us and spending your precious Fridays with us, because you could be doing something else theoretically. And you choose to come hang out with us two clowns. So
you guys are awesome. I mean, again, I was not in a good mood. You guys cheered me up. I appreciate every one of you guys. I appreciate every one of you guys. I hope you had a good week. Hope you have a great weekend. We love you. And remember, just take a moment. Just tell a family member, a friend, your wife, your kids, your uncle, your mom, anyone. Just tell them you love them, because tomorrow's never promised. They could be here today, gone tomorrow. Don't have that regret. With that being said, Stephen, what do we tell them?
Game on and be
kind.
Game
on, everyone. Game on.